Some roads are built for convenience, but these ones? They test the very limits of human survival. Imagine driving on a road where a wrong turn could send you off a 1,000-foot cliff, where avalanches, rock slides, and extreme weather are just part of the daily commute. Sounds terrifying, right? Well, let's tell you about just them. The Devil's Backbone, Mexico. Winding through the Sierra Madre Mountains, El Espinazo del Diablo lives up to its name. This narrow road has sharp curves, steep cliffs, and fog so thick it feels like a horror movie. Drivers have to battle low visibility, reckless truckers, and hairpin turns that leave no room for error. A single wrong move, you're tumbling down the abyss. But if you think that's terrifying, wait until you see a road where waves crash over your car. Atlantic Ocean Road, Norway. This road is a marvel of engineering and a driver's worst nightmare in stormy weather. The Atlantic Ocean Road stretches across islands with bridges that curve dramatically over crashing waves. During storms, ocean swells wash over the road, making it feel like you're driving through a hurricane. Even on a clear day, sudden winds can push cars dangerously close to the edge. Now, let's take you to a road that's dangerous, not because of nature, but because of the drivers. Tuen Mun Road, Hong Kong. Unlike mountain passes or icy highways, this road is a high-speed battlefield. Tuen Mun Road is one of Hong Kong's busiest highways, notorious for reckless drivers, sudden lane changes, and traffic jams that turn into accident hotspots. With blind curves and impatient motorists squeezing into every gap, collisions happen daily. If you hesitate even for a second, you might end up in a pile-up. But what if turning off your headlights was the only way to survive a road? Welcome to Egypt. Luxor Al Hurghada Road, Egypt. This desert highway comes with two deadly threats: reckless driving and bandits. Speeding cars race through pitch-black darkness as many drivers turn off their headlights to avoid attracting criminals. But with zero streetlights and poor road conditions, accidents are frequent. Some travelers don't make it to their destination, disappearing into the desert without a trace. But what if we told you that some roads are terrifying just because of nature itself? The Million Dollar Highway, USA. This stunning yet deadly mountain road in Colorado has no guardrails, narrow lanes, and sudden drop-offs over 1,000 feet high. In winter, it becomes a nightmare. Icy patches send cars skidding off cliffs, and rock slides block the road without warning. Even the bravest drivers feel their stomach drop on this highway, especially when thick fog rolls in. Now, let's head to Afghanistan, where the road itself isn't the only thing trying to kill you. Kabul, Jalalabad. Highway. Afghanistan, few roads mix natural and man-made dangers like this one. Connecting Kabul to Jalalabad, this winding highway is built along towering cliffs with no barriers. Landslides and extreme weather make it dangerous, but the real threat comes from reckless truck drivers and insurgent attacks. Vehicles overtake at insane speeds, often leading to deadly crashes. But what if you had to dodge rock slides and aggressive bus drivers at the same time? Tarako Gorge Road, Taiwan. This road isn't just carved into mountains, it's carved into solid marble. The Tarako Gorge Road is breathtaking, but terrifying. Landslides happen often, and during typhoons, entire sections collapse into the canyon below. Massive tour buses speed through the tight corners, leaving little room for mistakes. If a rock slide doesn't get you, an impatient driver might. Now, let's head to Chile, where a road's biggest danger is boredom. Ruta 5, Chile. A road doesn't need hairpin turns to be dangerous. Ruta 5 is a long, straight highway through the Chilean desert, and that's exactly why it's deadly. The monotony lulls drivers into a false sense of security, leading to sudden accidents. With no gas stations or emergency services for miles, breaking down in the heat can quickly become a life-threatening situation. Now, imagine a road that's not just dangerous. It's been deadly for centuries. Grand Trunk Road, India, Pakistan. One of Asia's oldest roads, this chaotic highway is a non-stop battle between trucks, rickshaws, animals, and pedestrians. Traffic laws barely exist. Drivers weave through any open space, often head-on into oncoming traffic. Every mile is unpredictable, and the risk of an accident is incredibly high. If you're not an expert at dodging obstacles, you won't last long here. Now, let's talk about a road where the biggest danger is the road itself, crumbling beneath you. The Pusubio Road, Italy. This Italian road was built inside a mountain, and it's literally falling apart. The Pusubio Road features tunnels with no reinforcement, narrow paths that crumble away, and sheer drops into the valley below. Landslides are frequent, and parts of the road collapse without warning. Cyclists and hikers brave the journey. But driving here is playing a dangerous game with gravity. Now, imagine a road where freezing temperatures aren't just an inconvenience, they can be fatal. The Siberian Road to Yakutsk, Russia. Imagine a road where breaking down means freezing to death. This highway to Yakutsk, the coldest city on Earth, is covered in black ice and snow for most of the year. In summer, it turns into a mud pit that swallows vehicles whole. With no nearby towns and temperatures dropping to -60 degrees Fahrenheit, getting stranded here is a death sentence. But what if I told you there's a road where your path is blocked by a moving train? Maeklong Railway Market Road, Thailand. A road that's also a train track? That's real. In Thailand's Maeklong Market, vendors sell goods directly on the tracks, packing up only seconds before a full-size train barrels through. There's no warning, no barriers, just locals with years of practice dodging disasters. If you mistime your crossing, well, good luck explaining that to insurance. Now, let's look at a road that makes even experienced drivers weak in the knees. Kilakishtwar Road, India. This road is a barely there dirt track carved into the side of a vertical cliff. The Kilakishtwar Road in India has no safety rails, is barely wide enough for one car, and has drops so deep you wouldn't even hear yourself hit the bottom. If two cars meet head-on, one has to reverse, sometimes for miles. But if you think reversing on a mountain road is bad, wait until you see a road that's actually collapsing. Halsema Highway, Philippines. Known as one of the most landslide-prone roads in the world, the Halsema Highway is a nightmare during the rainy season. Entire sections break away without warning, leaving drivers stranded or worse, plunging into the valleys below. With fog so thick you can barely see a few feet ahead, this road is a leap of faith every time. Let's head to China, where a road is carved directly into the side of a vertical cliff. Gansu Cliff Corridor, China. This terrifying tunnel road is cut into a mountainside with giant openings looking straight into the abyss. Locals built it to connect remote villages, but one mistake here, and you're gone forever. The rock walls are unstable and landslides happen without warning. If you're afraid of heights, even looking at photos of this road will make your heart race. But what if your road didn't just have tight turns, but nearly 100 of them? Mount Tianmen Road, China. Nicknamed the 99 Bends Road, this stretch is a series of ridiculous hairpin turns climbing straight up a mountain. It's so steep that some drivers experience vertigo while driving. The road is so extreme that it's often used for drifting and racing competitions, but one wrong turn, and there's no coming back. Now, let's look at a road where the biggest danger is the wildlife. Patio Polo Perdikaki Road, Greece. This Greek mountain road has zero barriers, loose gravel, and wild animals wandering in front of your car at random. Add in reckless drivers, fog, and random drop-offs, and this road becomes an absolute mess. It's so risky that even locals avoid it unless they absolutely have to use it. But what if your biggest problem wasn't nature or road conditions, but just pure isolation? James Dalton Highway, Alaska. Stretching over 414 miles of frozen wilderness, this road was made famous by ice road truckers, and for good reason. If your car breaks down, help is hundreds of miles away. And cell service? Forget it. In winter, the road disappears under layers of ice, and in summer, thick fog turns it into a driver's worst nightmare. Now, let's end with a road so long and boring, it's actually dangerous. Air Highway, Australia. Driving through the Australian outback sounds cool until you realise you're on a straight road that stretches for hundreds of miles with zero scenery, no turns, and barely any towns. drivers fall asleep at the wheel, leading to countless fatal crashes. Oh, and let's not forget the kangaroos randomly jumping in front of cars at night. Whether it's nature, poor road design, or sheer isolation, these roads have earned their terrifying reputations. Would you dare to drive on any of them? Or do you know a road that's even worse? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.